A morning coffee is my favorite way of starting the day, settling the nerves so that they don't later fray. Marcia Carrington. A morning without coffee is like sleep. My perfect morning is spent drinking coffee, eating porridge, and reading the paper at a local cafe. Anton Dubecka. Every morning I long to hold you, need you. I want you, I have to have your warmth, your smell, your taste. Oh coffee, I love you. When I wake up in the morning, I just can't get started until I've had that first, piping hot pot of coffee. Oh, I've tried other enemas. Emo Phillips. I start every morning at 7 or 7:30 in the same place, my little office, where it's dark and cozy with a cup of the same really strong black coffee. It's my little cocoon. There's no phone or fax or internet. And no music. John Grisham. Every morning, we choose between milk or tea, or coffee. Usually, I know what I like, but I don't rule out changing my idea sometimes. The editing process is one of the most important parts of everyday life. The same is with my work, mistakes are part of the decision-making process. Maurizio Catalan. I love the sunrise, as I am definitely a morning person. It's a great time to get up and have a coffee in the garden by myself before everybody wakes up. Bianca Balti. I have to have coffee in the morning. Olivia Culpo. I drink coffee in the morning and a few cups throughout the day. Among coffee's health benefits are lower risk of Parkinson's, type 2 diabetes, heart disease and dementia. David H. Murdoch. I wake up at 5:30, 6 in the morning, but don't head into the office right away. I like to hang out with my wife, talk about things, get some coffee, Ice Cube. I always have coffee and porridge for breakfast. Hans Ulrich Obrist. Too much coffee. Too much coffee and Gatorade. It's a hell of a mix. If you're ever tired in the morning, just try that mix and tell me what you think. Kevin Garnett. I get up, get coffee, and go into my home office. I check email and Twitter before I start work, but I have to try not to get too distracted. Julie Kagawa. I like coffee in the morning and decaf green tea throughout the day. When I was younger and modeling, to kickstart a diet I would do a juice cleanse. Christy Brinkley. I'm a morning person. If I don't get up, put the coffee on, and get to my desk by 8, the day has already lost a lot of its promise. Jennifer Gilmore. I take a few moments in the morning just to breathe while I drink my morning coffee or right before I get out of bed. Aisha Curry. I made it a morning show. We have the coffee cup, we have the morning papers. It's got that feel to it, that's what I wanted. Regis Philbin. In the morning we received some very thin coffee. For lunch we had potato soup with a few pieces of meat in it. In the evening we had a very thin meat soup with some potatoes in it. Leon Askin. I wake up some mornings and sit and have my coffee and look out at my beautiful garden, and I go, remember how good this is. Because you can lose it. Jim Carrey. Why, yes, I could start my day without coffee. But I like being able to remember things like how to say words and put on pants. Nenea Hoffman. When I wake up in the morning, I just can't get started until I've had that first, piping hot pot of coffee. Oh, I've tried other enemas. Emo Phillips. A morning coffee is my favorite way of starting the day, settling the nerves so that they don't later fray. Marcia Carrington. Good communication is just as stimulating as black coffee, and just as hard to sleep after. And Maura Lindberg. I was taken by the power that savoring a simple cup of coffee can have to connect people and create community. Howard Schultz. Having charged your heart and brain with a cup of coffee, you're ready to face the challenges of life. Sahara Sanders. The powers of a man's mind are directly proportioned to the quantity of coffee he drinks. Sir James McIntosh. To me, the smell of fresh-made coffee is one of the greatest inventions. Hugh Jackman. There are 3 intolerable things in life: cold coffee, lukewarm champagne, and overexcited women. Orson Welles. Coffee is the common man's gold, and like gold, it brings to every person the feeling of luxury and nobility. Sheikh Abd al-Qadir. It doesn't matter where you're from or how you feel, there's always peace in a strong cup of coffee. Gabriel Ba. Way too much coffee. But if it weren't for the coffee, it has no identifiable personality whatsoever. David Letterman. I love coffee. I sometimes get excited at night thinking of the coffee I'll get to drink in the morning. Coffee is a reason to wake up. There are other reasons, of course. But coffee is the incentive, at the very least. Annie Clark. Please pour me some coffee and sit beside me. I want to have a perfect start to this day. Nietzsche Prakash. Iced coffee might be cold, but it was made in heaven. Anthony T. Hanks. When coffees are hot, it comes to the rescue. When coffees are cold, it just chills out. Anthony T. Hanks. Black coffee is the latest fad I have picked up. Then there are my endless cups of chai. I'm trying to cut down and keep it to no more than 3 cups a day. Vidya Balan. I'm a morning bird. I love getting up before it's lights out if it's possible. I wake up, I have a black coffee. I'm an 86-year-old man. I try to work out the first thing to get it over with. When I do it, I feel good because I have the endorphins all day. Ellie Kemper. I like to have straight up black coffee, but when you get it, sometimes you'll burn your tongue, or it spills on your hands, and you get third-degree burns. I happen to be the kind of human being who doesn't want to sue coffee companies for money, so I just say, hey, can you give me some coffee, but can you also give me like 8 ice cubes? Hassan Minhaj. I'm a traditionalist, so for me, black coffee is cool. Graham Elliott. The first thing I do when I wake up is cardio on an empty stomach. I'll just drink water, or maybe I'll have a black coffee with no sugar, and I'll do about 25 minutes of cardio, 6 days a week. Jinder Mahal. Never drink black coffee at lunch, it will keep you awake all afternoon. Jilly Cooper. For 4 to 6 months at a time, I would barely eat. I lived on a diet of Melba toast, carrots, and black coffee. Alanis Morissette. My workday begins around 11 a.m., with a cup of black coffee in each hand. If I had more hands, there would be more coffee. Aaron Levy. I don't know how my body would react if I don't eat for 10 days. In order to go through that experience, I almost did not eat or drink water for 15 to 20 days. I only had 1 carrot a day, a cup of black coffee, and a few sips of water. Rajkumar Rao. The Soft Pack's self-titled full-length debut is straighter than black coffee and twice as bitter. Frontman Matt Lankin isn't afraid to fly his philosophical flag and face hard realities. Anthony Fantano. If you feel a need to get wired, take my advice. Loud, fast music coupled with strong, black coffee is the best way to go. Lou Brutus. Few men in their 70s looked as good as my father did. What was his secret? Genes, maybe, since he didn't exercise or diet, and he kept a candy drawer, drank a pot of black coffee every day, and read in the middle of the night. Still, he took such joy in being a dad and in life in general, and his happiness showed. Jennifer Grant. I'm going to start measuring the complexity of coding tasks in coffee cups. This was a 5 espresso algorithm. A mathematician is a device for turning coffee into theorems. Paul Erdos.